Okay, we're rolling. We're going to talk about the Ole97 Swamp Fox and how it came to be.
The original.
Yes, the original.
Well, it is August the 8th, 2009. My name is Eddie Jordan.
Larry Pearson. Larry Nance.
The reason that I'm involved in this is 1961 in the spring. Buddy Irwin, I looked out the window of my house on a Saturday morning, and he is sitting talking to my father. And I'm thinking I'm in trouble, but as it turned out, my dad had a paint and body shop at our house. And Buddy Irwin had approached my father with the idea of painting a bus for Ole97. And my dad told me this after Buddy left, and I thought, we don't have a bus. As Buddy Irwin would do things, though, the next weekend he comes driving a yellow 1954 Chevrolet school bus into our yard. And Dad has drafted and volunteered to paint the bus. So Buddy says that he will get the scout troop to come out and sand the bus for my father to paint. Okay, so they build scaffolding around this bus, and the next weekend the entire 97 troop is out there with sandpaper sanding this bus. Now this day and age, you're not going to put kids on scaffolding with anything, but it was a marvelous sight. And in the process, he takes all the seats out of the bus, he takes the rubber mat out of the bus, and loads up and away with the seats he goes. I thought, well, okay. So we decided on a paint scheme, red, white, and blue for the bus. And they get it sanded as best they can, because boys with sandpaper can be dangerous. And Dad goes out and does it correctly, most of it, and primes it and paints the bus. Well, in the meantime, the seats show back up. They've all been upholstered in new upholstery. He also brings a brand new rubber floor mat to put in this bus, plus another motor for this bus. Well, my dad puts the motor in the bus also. And in the process of doing all this, some guy with a service truck shows up and commits to putting tires on this bus. And I thought, now where did all this come from? You never asked Buddy Irwin where he got stuff, but he would show up with anything. If you needed it, he would show up with it. I don't know whether he bought this stuff himself, whether he talked somebody into giving it to him, which he probably did. But that was the original Swamp Fox 97 bus, its origin. That's where it started, that's where it came from. It started as a 1954 Chevrolet school bus. We had adventures with that bus, and in fact we went to the Grand Canyon in this bus. And one of the really fantastic parts about this bus trip was a place called Adrian, Texas. This bus threw a rod through the side of the motor. Okay? In Adrian, Texas,
On a
Saturday morning, there was one little shop in Adrian, Texas that was just big enough to get the motor portion of the bus in. The bus wouldn't go in it. The place was closed, and somebody in that little town goes and finds the owner. He comes out, and he says, we'll fix this bus. He gets on the phone and calls, I don't know, 8 or 10 different people that come out and pick up 2 and 3 boys, however many they can sleep for the night. And we go home with them. And they had no clue where we went. We were just gone.
That won't happen nowadays.
Not nowadays. But I had turned 16 years old and had a driver's license, and I ended up being Buddy Irwin's co-pilot.
What a mistake.
Yes. And oh, listen, the guys on that trip with us, they don't know how many peanut butter sandwiches I sat there and did this going down the highway. And sometimes Buddy would get tired, and he would let me drive his. I was the only guy I ever knew that drove Buddy Irwin's truck on the highway. But I was legal. I had a driver's license. Anyway, these scoutmasters and this man worked all night to repair this bus. The next morning, this bus was ready to go. And I was standing there when they gave the bill for these repairs to Buddy. He looked at the bill, and he looked at that man and said, "Sir, there's no labor charges on here." And this man looked at Buddy and he said, "Sir, this is my shop and I can charge the labor I want to." And he says, "This labor's for these boys."